Alright, so it is patch day, so probably a lot to go over. I don't really have a list or anything. I'm just going to go over it as it comes up. But lots of little things to do tonight. Kind of the thing that I want to start with, just because I'm itching to do it, is kind of open some orbs. So I have been saving some red orbs, not a whole lot. I kind of opened them all for Iceman and kind of needed to rebuild. So this is really only like, an event or two's worth, about a week's worth. But I got some premium orbs, red star orbs, and some milestone. Those are really the only three that I've been saving. Everything else I pretty much open just because I generally need. But what the character-based ones, I can kind of wait on those a little bit. I have a lot of characters at 4 stars at this point. And I think it's a really good strategy to save those for the characters that are either new and coming out or that you want to kind of quote unquote wail on a little bit. So that's I'm going to be opening some of those, and then I kind of want to see what else is available here in the store. I had seen this Uru earlier. I'm trying to take Thor and Ultimus into DD4, and you can see there I only have 11. I only have I have Thor at gear tier 14, but Ultimus is still at 13, so I can't even get Ultimus up to 14 yet. So I need a lot of that. I know that you do get some of that material your second time through Dark Dimension 3, but that's still a ways off for me. I'm on the second to last node. I'm on the third city node. And I only have 4 characters at this point. I've kind of gotten through. I got through the first 2 city nodes relatively painless, and then I got through like the entire first wave of the third node on a one shot, and then when the new wave dropped, you kind of have to let let them burn themselves out a little bit, let everybody kind of use their everybody I feel like gets a turn before you get a turn again, and kind of just need to let them waste a little energy. So my attack last night didn't last very long. It was kind of that in between attack, and I just don't really have a squad that's strong enough to really. I've never really had a squad that's strong enough to one shot any of this stuff. That's not really the types of teams that I'm trying to build, so that doesn't really bother me. So I'm actually going to go ahead and buy this before I forget about it. And then I'm thinking about that. I don't really need the spores right now. So right now I've got 49. I've got enough to get somebody, probably Anti-Venom up to 14, and then probably Symbiote up to 15. And I think that would take care of all that. So pretty much got that covered, really. Long term, I'd like to get Anti-Venom up to gear tier 15 also, but that's a really far way off. And then kind of one of the new things that was part of this patch, as you can see by that inbox 1, I haven't even read the full patch yet, but I saw OMG talk about it on Twitch earlier today. Pretty much as soon as the server maintenance started, he was on talking about stuff and kind of went over some of the patch notes stuff. So I know what's gone into it, even though I haven't read that yet. But I'll talk about a couple things. So one thing that kind of affects me a good bit now is this Shadowland rework. As you can see, Daredevil and then Elektra and Night Nurse now have this Shadowland tag, which is pretty cool. And I haven't really totally looked at the impacts of these, but let's see here. So he's going to speed up those 2 characters, which would help, obviously, especially with Night Nurse being able to heal. And see if any of the. I think it's basically just. Oh, no, that's got some Shadowland stuff too. When forced to an attack. Oh, that's kind of a cool one. Yeah, since Daredevil's a pretty hard hitter, this is probably pretty good for defense against both Ultimus and probably Emma Frost. There's probably another one, probably Loki. But yeah, so being forced is, being like, I don't know what they call it, mind attacked or something. It's not worth me looking up, but I can't think of the way they phrase it. But I think it would be what those three villains do. So that's kind of a good one. Plus, that helps because Daredevil's just such a heavy hitter, especially at the level that I've got. If I'm attacking one of my allies, really, the strength that I have, can deal some pretty good damage. It doesn't say how much less damage, though. But that's interesting. I was thinking it was only the passive. It looks like it's actually all of the... Ooh, that's nice. So the counters will go out to Defender and Shadowland. So I guess it always went out to Defender. I just haven't used Defenders together for such a long time. Or at least it feels like a long time. I haven't played them in a long time. But that's cool so that'll now work for... It's kind of meaningless on Night Nurse, but that would help a little bit on Elektra. I mean, it's something. And then I guess that'll help. Right now that there's only 3 total Shadowland allies. So another thing that is kind of... I don't know if it was confirmed since I haven't read the patch notes, but the artwork, the intro artwork has Moon Knight, which I kind of called. I mean, other people called, but he is not on the list down here like Bishop and Jubilee, because I think they're still probably working on him. But my theory is that he's going to be a Mystic Blaster, just because there are only 2 other Mystic Blasters. There's Thor and then there's Elsa Bloodstone. Neither of those 2 are City. So for just, looking at the stats for diversification, that's kind of where I could see him landing. I mean, there's an outside chance he could be skill. I mean, he could be a brawler instead of a blaster. There are obviously some other combinations he could be. But I think that it just kind of makes sense for him to maybe be Mystic Blaster. And I know he throws those. I mean, he's kind of got like a Batarang type thing, and I know he throws those. So I think that would count as a blaster. I don't know. Makes sense to me. We'll see what happens with that. And then I don't know if they... Oh no, I guess White Tiger would be the 4th. So they're going to be 4 characters this patch. Bishop and Jubilee, which they're done on and show up there already. And then what did I just forget? Oh, and then White Tiger and Moon Knight. So those, I guess, are going to be the 4 this patch. I have a decent Elektra and a decent Night Nurse, just because of how early they came out. For a long time, I was just leveling up to like Gear Tier 10, level 70 on characters that I had maxed out. Or maybe it was 60, but maybe it was 70, but I just didn't feel like spending the gold on Elektra. But now she's probably back in consideration. I got pretty decent stars on Night Nurse. Down the line, I think that'll help. Another thing that came with this patch is the Doom Raids, which we launched and tried. So the thing about the Doom Raids is there are different lanes. So I just tried Mute, and I don't know if that was what made the most sense, but I know other people were trying Bio, and I definitely, having seen this now, don't have strong enough for any of these. But anyway, there's different lanes. So down here's Bio. Not sure why I can't type on any of these. Tech. So anyway, they're all here, but there's lanes. It's the it's the 5 origins, but in different orders. So like if you have a weak, well, I did it just testing out. So I was like, okay, I've got pretty strong uncanny X-Men. I'm going to try the mutant lane. And I tried 4 different mutant teams, 4 or 5, I think, and just didn't do barely anything. I mean, I think these are gear tier 15, maybe 16. I guess they're 15, but 6 red stars, 5 and 6 red stars. So I guess I did take out a Punisher. Woohoo! Didn't matter. I mean, my alliance isn't going to get anywhere close to 30% needed to get these rewards, so it's kind of just a waste of time. But it was interesting just to give a shot. But I mean, it's very difficult at this point. I think my alliance is nowhere close to this. We're still on normal difficulty for U7. And as you can see by my notes down in the Alliance chat, I am trying to help. We've been talking about it, but we need to be a little bit more organized on whether or not and when we're going to go for 100% attempt on U7. And kind of my suggestion is just, let's just try once a week. Let's try every Saturday and just use that as a benchmark and see if we can eventually get it. We don't have one going on right now because we did Doom 1 instead of another Ultimus, but we pretty comfortably get into the 60 range. I think 100% is probably still a push, but I don't know, it's good to have goals, I guess. So I kind of wanted to take a look at and see how this affected the other kits. So I mean, Elektra, I've got max stars on her, 4 red stars, which isn't bad. I don't have any of T4s on her abilities, but I could dump a little gold into her and have her, pretty much at the same level Night Nurse is. And then I could experiment using these again. It would be kind of interesting to kind of maybe throw like Punisher and Red Guardian on this team and kind of do a Skeletal Shadowlands hybrid with the Punisher Daredevil duo. Oh, and then I didn't look at Elektra. Maybe it's kind of a trio with Elektra. I'm not real sure. So it looks like her impact's going to be in War, which that is kind of interesting since military's got the boost in War. It would be interesting to throw her on a team. It's kind of sounding very interesting to me. Haven't really totally known how to use the skill military team. I'm not, I don't focus on minions. I don't do Merc Soldier. I'm not really interested in leveling him up, so I've kind of been throwing Daredevil on that skeletal team to kind of work with Punisher. But I also don't have a very powerful Yelena yet. I haven't put all that much resources into her at this point. Kind of just the bare minimum to kind of make her usable in Blitz. But yeah, this looks interesting that it's going to have a War impact. I haven't really been using hand even in Blitz anymore. It's just not really effective. So, this is kind of interesting to maybe have a way to use Elektra again, especially since I've already dumped some resources into her in the past. So it's interesting. This almost guarantees a revive too. 1 to revive. You know what? I mean, people probably don't really care about this rework, but whatever. For my roster, where I've got some people, it doesn't really hurt me. I'm not complaining. I haven't really even been able to use Night Nurse either, really. Just don't really even have a spot for her, like in Blitz or anything. So yeah, this kind of revives 2 characters that, had kind of fallen out of meta for me. I hadn't really been focusing on either one. I had only bumped Night Nurse up to level 70 because of the 5 red stars. So, I don't know. It makes those two characters relevant for me again. I've already invested a lot in Daredevil, so, this one doesn't hurt me. I also really like the duo of Daredevil and Punisher, so these last two reworks have really kind of helped me. And then I think probably what we're going to see next is the addition of Moon Knight and White Tiger kind of help the rest of the defenders. So I'm kind of thinking, White Tiger is probably going to be Mystic too. I don't know if that makes Moon Knight more or less likely to be Mystic, but yeah, I mean, I would assume that White Tiger would probably be Mystic with that amulet. I also don't really know that much about this version of White Tiger. Really, the only exposure to the White Tiger that I've had is one of the Disney Spider-Man cartoons, whatever one where it was like Spider-Man and Friends. I can't think of which one that was. It wasn't Spectacular. It might have been Ultimate. I think it was Ultimate. But that was actually a good series. I liked that one. I watched part of the ongoing series, which isn't too bad, but I liked the style of the other one, and I probably liked I thought the voice acting and everything was good. That era of Marvel cartoons was pretty good. Like, I don't know, I liked Agents of Smash. I'd like to see that come to this game. Really. I'd like to see, Hulk and She-Hulk, maybe be combined with the Red Hulk and A-Bomb and Scar, I guess. Scar would be kind of cool. But if they did those 5, that would be interesting. That would be a cool team to go up against Black Order with. Here's some free ideas for you, Scopely. Not that anyone's ever gonna probably watch this. Actually, I want to look at Night Nurse real quick, see what kind of rework she got. Yeah, actually, I think this helps me in War. This probably gives me a new War offense team. Really does, actually. I can't decide if it's going to be War offense or War defense. War defense might be interesting just early on, just to have somebody throw something at somebody that they haven't seen yet. Plus, my Punisher and Daredevil are pretty high. My Night Nurse is respectable. My Elektra can be made respectable, and I've put some resources into Red Guardian, so that seems like a really interesting war team. Probably on defense, just because that sounds pretty defensive to me with Night Nurse and Red Guardian, but that seems like a really interesting combination to me. I'm definitely going to kind of test that out a little bit. So I have been dropping pretty significantly in Arena because during the Covert Ops event for the last week or so, or maybe it was only like 5 or 6 days, I can't really remember. Anyway, I was using my military people in Arena to get the points. I was basically losing on purpose, and just over a week or so of doing that, I dropped from about the 300 range to, I think, dangerously close to being outside of the 500 range. So I kind of need to get back into it. Got one win today, and just want to see. I haven't, since I had been doing that and kind of just been losing, I feel like I haven't really done Arena stuff lately, so I kind of need to get back on that. I'm really probably, if I'm trying and everything, probably just outside the 250 range. I'd really like to be over that hump. This is kind of my, go-to Arena offense, but it's kind of one of the reasons why I'm thinking about making Phoenix G15 right away after finishing my first run of DD3, because it'll help me in a lot of areas. It'll help me in Arena. It'll help me, with my second run through run through Dark Dimension 3, and just I don't see any reason why I don't like her long term. I've got 6 red stars on her. I'm even kind of thinking about if there was a character that I was going to put 7 red stars on, it'd probably be, I don't know that I'd necessarily want to do both. I mean, both would be awesome, but Phoenix or Black Bolt. So that's kind of, I'm kind of coming up on a potential 7-star promotion, but I don't know if I'll have Koye done to maximize the Chaos Theory coming up. So I probably only have enough for 6 red star, and that's probably a sign that that's the way I should spend it. And if I were to do that, I'd probably put it on Symbiote Spider-Man, who I have at 5 red stars right now. But that's a problem for future Jason. So anyway, I'm just looking for like a Black Order. So this team, I've got it down pretty much against Black Order. I guess I can't do a whole lot better than, or was it this one? So we'll just do this. I think I'll be able to win this. So obviously my power is significantly over that. I don't really think this is going to be much of a challenge, but you never know against Black Order. But anyway, I'll kind of break down a little bit on how I attack Black Order with this team with pretty good success. Can pretty much punch across, maybe a little bit of a punch down, but especially with the prevalence of Black Order in Arena. This is a nice squad that I've just kind of realized works really well. So I did have Skirmisher on Yo-Yo for a long time to get this vulnerable immediately put on to call. It didn't really matter there, but it might matter later. And then, Phoenix works really well because she can pull all those off. Crystal works really well because not only can she apply a bunch of vulnerables with this special attack, she's also going to pull all of the counters off of Black Order here. So that's just going to chew up a lot of damage to other characters. I think she evaded one because of something Yo-Yo, I think, maybe put on her. And if she had dropped below 50%, she would have healed with that Second Wind passive ability. So here's what I can't really figure out with Ultron. I can't really figure out what moves right here. Lately, I think I've been doing the special, so I think I'm going to keep doing that. And what happened there? Did anything happen there? I guess nothing happened there. It just looked weird. So I'm going to try to get all the buffs off of Cole. And didn't quite kill him, but I think I'll be able to get him when Ultimus comes back through, I think. Or I'm not Ultimus, Ultron. Maybe not. Shit. I don't think the other thing would have mattered, though. So here I can pretty much... I can't kill him, so I think, using the ultimate abilities maybe not the best use, so I'm just going to use the basic. And that actually was the right move, because I forgot about the... I just recently moved him to Straker. I'm not used to him getting that double hit. Then I'll do the ultimate just to get the energy for Black Bolt, basically. And again, the other good thing about this combination is Black Bolt has been incognito this whole time. Again, this is a pretty significant punch down. This is... I don't know, my team is a lot more powerful than this one. I've definitely just dropped in the standings. And I think it's just a function of me not, climbing due to offense. I don't think that there's really a problem with my defense. I don't think my Ultron has died yet. So he would have a revive. So yeah, no problem there. So again, this one wasn't really fully showing off this team, which works pretty well. I mean, that was just a pretty power discrepancy there was kind of wide. So I mean, that shows you that I should definitely be up in that. I think my peak I think was 208, if I remember right. So we'll get back there. It'll take me a couple days. Let's see what else. So I've done pretty decent, I think, with this Emma event. And I'm getting close to having her. I know that there's an offer right now for 50 shards that's overpriced, but I don't know. I mean, I think there's only a day left of the event, but if with, I don't even think I could do it, but I'm probably gonna buy her down the line, get her up to 6 stars. I've kind of been rethinking her a little bit lately. I've had 5 red stars on her, but I've only had 4 gold until this event. So I recently got her up to 5 gold, 5 red, and could probably start using her. But I don't have any T4s on her. I think she's at gear tier 12 right now. So I'd like to take her higher and see. I haven't really even played with her a ton yet, really, to be honest. Just because she hasn't really been at a usable level for me. But kind of getting to that 150 shard point. Then if I bought the offer, then I can get her up to 6 stars. So I don't want to do it, but that might be something that I do down the line. I wasn't even paying attention to my objectives. At least that's good, I guess, that they're all done. Alright, what else? So, Dark Dimension. Been working my way through it lately. I'm only working with these 4 right now, and honestly, they work pretty well. I thought that maybe I was in trouble because I didn't have a 5th ready to go. But these guys have done pretty well, actually. City doesn't really seem that hard. I finished this one in 3 attacks. I finished the first one in 2 attacks. So, I mean, it's just not that challenging up to this point. I did kind of hit a little bit of a red block on this one. I got through the first wave fine, but then I was kind of starting to trail off, and the drop of the second wave, took me out real quick. But Symbiote Spider-Man, he's definitely got sustain and was able to take a lot of that first round's damage, and will probably start in a pretty good place when the server resets tonight and I play that one again. I don't think I'm gonna. It's still probably gonna take me at least 3 or 4 days to finish this one, but I don't know. I might be able to in the next couple days. Well, it's still probably going to take me about 4 or 5 days to get my next one up to gear tier 14. Been trying to decide between Spider-Man and Anti-Venom. Anti-Venom's probably a little bit too weak at this point. I do need to, I don't know. He's just 5 stars, 3 red. He's pretty good, but I don't know that I really want to take him up to gear tier 14 yet. And I already have the abilities maxed on Spider-Man. He's kind of just been, he's just my favorite character, and I've just kind of leveled him up as I went. And he works real. I like Ms. Marvel a lot, so he works well with Ms. Marvel, and I think he'll work with who I already have, but I'm actually not sure that I'm going to need the 5th. I'm kind of waiting to see. That's why I haven't applied any of these nodes yet. But we'll see. And then Captain America is kind of an outside shot. But he won't help me in the city, so never mind. He's kind of like an early second run option for me. So I've been doing a lot of resource investing with Black Widow lately. I'd kind of been saving my T4s, and then my alliance has had pretty good showings in the raid and war seasons. We've been getting, the higher, not the highest, but a higher tier reward than kind of what our average has been. And, I think over probably about 7 to 10 days, ballparking it, I was able to put all the T4s on Black Widow. You could argue that maybe I didn't need to do that for every one, but I'm kind of a completionist, and when I decide that I'm going to put one on them, I kind of figure that I'm going to put all 4 of them on there. So I don't really diversify with my T4s. I kind of save them and use them on just the characters that I like the most. And I have kind of, for better or worse, I've kind of let red stars kind of dictate my roster a little bit. I think Cable is the only 6 red star character that I haven't really kind of taken to max or taken to some level of completion, but pulled 6 red stars on her, I think, last week, upgrading her from a 4-star, which was a nice pull. And I think maybe that came out of an Elite 4 or Elite 5, or no, it must have come out of an Elite 5, maybe. I don't remember what happened, but pulled her, and then she was just kind of somebody that I was kind of considering for Dark Dimension 4. I think I'm gonna go the Avengers route in some way. I'm just not sure how hard yet. I kind of I have to pick a protector for global, and that's kind of a tough one for me between Yo-Yo, Colossus, and Cap. And just Black Widow is so cheap; she only needs 2 Gear 15 nodes. So just cost-wise, I don't love any of the other skill characters in global, so I'm probably just going with the cheapest. And I've got a 5 red star Cap, only a 3-star Hawkeye, but Hawkeye is probably going to be my next 4-star promotion, 4 red star promotion. Got 4 red stars on Iron Man. He's not really my favorite legendary, but I don't know. Avengers just seems like a low cost, high reward option, and that's kind of the way I'm leaning. Like I said, I think that I'm probably going to upgrade Phoenix to tier 15 when I get those rewards for Dark Dimension 3. I pretty much just need I just need some of these pieces. I just need some of these X genes. I mean, really, if I had those, I could take her up to gear 15 right now. I need like 190 of these, and I only have 8. So I could use those rewards out of DD3. I think I'll bump her up, get the benefit from her in not only Arena, but in my second run through Dark Dimension 3. Thinking Widow will be my skill character. Thor, since he's a Wave 1 Avenger, just kind of, he's a cheap option. He only requires 3 pieces versus like a Hela or an Ultimus who require 5. So again, low cost and just working with the synergy. I'd be able to use him in the first 3 nodes of Dark Dimension 4 before Global started, and just be able to bank on all that synergy, especially if I took up Cap, and I could probably. Hawkeye'd be tough. I'd like to take him, but I'm wondering if, actually in this case, it might be smarter to take up Ultron. Ultron would require 5 of those gear tier tech pieces, which is pretty costly, but I don't really have the adamantium right now to do both, and I'm wondering if Ultron's just the smarter choice. Just have a little bit more broader use. But there's nothing wrong with Hawkeye. And again, I don't really have a ton of skill characters, especially in global, that I care about. So going low cost on Black Widow, I could then go another, mid-tier cost with Hawkeye. And then again, Adamantium would be a little bit of a stretch, but if it came down to it, I would probably buy those pieces so that I could use the character that I wanted. And it would suck to pay for it, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm a dolphin or a whale, but I kind of am of the thought process now that I'm just willing to pay to get kind of the experience that I want and, pick the characters that I want. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. I'm kind of thinking, having Phoenix plus 4 Wave 1 Avengers for those first 3 nodes, that seems like that's pretty doable. And then to have, I'd have 3 Wave 1 Avengers and potentially in Black Widow, Hawkeye, and Cap for the global nodes. I would probably then add Mr. Sinister, assuming that enough time had gone by since upgrading Phoenix. And I've been able to get about enough pieces for 1 node, especially through the Battle Pass, to get about 1 node's worth for each origin type per month, which is pretty good. So I definitely think that the Battle Pass, $20, if you're a late game player and you're really interested in those 15s, it's definitely worth it. I'm going to continue to do that. I'm at the level where I don't really need to do the super premium or the premium plus or whatever they've got that gives you the 30 levels automatically. I can get enough tokens to get up to level 100 in about a little over 3 weeks. I don't have to do it right now. Already at level 100, got 2 days. I've been done for probably two or 3 days. Somebody's talking about how crazy the Doom raids are. They are really excessive. Like, I don't think there are probably too many players that are prepared for that yet. I mean, it would be like the top 1%. So, it looks like that they have a clear path on kind of who they're probably going to be releasing, at least in the first half of this year, and probably designed all that stuff to probably in the fashion of Dark Dimension, where that's probably going to take some pretty strong players, a good bit of 2021 to complete that, to master that. So that's good. It'll be a while before my alliance gets there. Alright, so I'm going to do what I said I was going to do in the beginning, but it's taken, probably 40 minutes to do. I'm going to open some orbs. So I'm going to test out Seed Theory. I don't really believe in Seed Theory, but can't hurt to try. So from what I've seen other people do, it's that they spend about 400,000 gold, which seems kind of arbitrary, but I guess that's, to kind of level up one of a higher leveled character. So I'm just going to try to do it here on Black Bolt. The other thing that's weird about, and the other reason why I'm going to do this for Black Bolt right now, is because something weird happened with this patch, and I noticed it, and I actually called it out on OMG's stream earlier, and a couple other people saw it too, so it's definitely not in my head. But the health on Black Bolt increased from this patch. He was down on the bottom, or on 1 row below this, so he was down where Mantis is now. So whatever happened gave him about a 4,000 health boost, which I have no problem with if that's permanent, but I'm not sure that it is. So again, I don't know exactly how all the compensation works for when they screw up and then decide how to divvy out, some materials and stuff to make up for everything. They've been pretty good about not doing that, at least for the way that I play. Recently, they haven't really seen a whole lot of those before this patch. But again, I'm thinking that if I would spend gold to get him up to level 80, and they would rescind the health thing, maybe there's some kind of added benefit to doing that. Maybe that'd get some kind of extra reward. So I don't know, can't hurt. I was pretty much going to do it anyway. Another thing I did is I did buy some Shatterstar shards today. the $30 ones, and I've just kind of wailed on him this whole process. Just kind of figured I'd keep it going. I'm kind of trying to keep him and Longshot even, and I've kind of wailed on both of them. And I don't really regret it, to be honest. They're pretty awesome, and I am eager to put T4s on both their passives and have them both at 6 stars, and I think they're just going to be pretty cool. I'm really kind of thinking about them long term in Dark Dimension 4, actually. I'm kind of waiting to see what happens with all these mutants, at least the global mutants. So I think I'm going to shift over and focus on these guys at some point in the near future. The hybrid team of Kree and X-Factor I really like. So Ultimus, Captain Marvel, and Minerva, and then the 2 Dad Bros is a really interesting team. I'm using them in Blitz right now in that combination, and I just think that's, I don't know, that's probably my benchmark for DD4 Cosmic right now. It's actually pretty diversified. You'd have 4 different origins in those 5. It's probably a stretch to say that I could get both Longshot and Shatterstar up. I think I've got enough, what is it, Gravitonium? Yeah, I've got enough Gravitonium to get one of them up to Gear Tier 15, but then that would leave nothing for the other one to get up even to Gear Tier 13, so I'm a little short there. So I'd have enough to, no, don't even have enough to get them up to both to Gear Tier 14. I can get one up to 13 and one up to 14. So, that's on my shopping list. Long way off before I get to that point anyway. So I'll probably take them both up and probably try to keep them both pretty even rather than focus on one or the other. Still feel like there's a lot that could happen with the X-Men. I don't really know how good the Astonishing X-Men are at this point. It's kind of too early to tell. But anyway, I need to spend some gold here and open some orbs. Stop talking about it. So Black Bolt's now at max. Again, I hope that extra health sticks. Not sure it will, but he's now my second most powerful character, so I'm totally fine with that. I'm going to be getting 7 red stars on him. I'm assuming I just got Sif up to 7 red stars, and I'm almost done with Hela. Probably another week. I'll have her up to 7 stars, and then I'll be ready for my 7-star Black Bolt. Okay, so I spent my gold. Oh, I need to turn off something real quick. So I want to open them up one at a time. Okay, so I opened my gold, and then I'm going to start with milestone orbs. And what I'm just trying to get the rare drop. I don't even know what the rare drop is here. Okay, so I'm looking for 10 Symbiote Spider-Man or 10 Coulson. Would be like, I guess, like the thing that seeds you, and then once you get that, apparently, I guess it manipulates the random number generator somehow, and you can get better pulls. I don't know. I've seen some evidence of it a while ago, and I think maybe they did some stuff to fix it. That's total speculation, but I don't really believe in it, to be honest. I think it's probably more a function of your total collection power, if anything else. But we'll just see what happens here. Not a good start. No, I don't know that it necessarily... so that's only a 5 Coulson. I don't think it necessarily matters if you do them one at a time or not. Well, yeah, it does, because if you hit one, then you can immediately leave. So there's a 5 Symbiote Spider-Man. How many of these do I have left? 6. Keep going. Oh, so there we... I think that counts. So I think that was a rare drop. Alright, so then I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to go open some red star orbs. Really trying to get bishop here, so any bishop is preferable. Also, I think pretty close to an Elite 4. If I get one, which I should with 12 orbs, definitely will be opening that Elite 4, trying to get bishop. I'd really like to have him at 5, but 4's kind of my entry level right now, unfortunately. And with some of the changes, it's been kind of controversial. I don't know that it's really been controversial, but they kind of upped the recommendations for the Jubilee Legendary event and made the requirements for that PimTech team a little bit higher than normal. And basically the guidance, I think, for even the 5-star level is 4 red stars on your PimTech people. So people are kind of complaining that they, basically it's kind of making 3 red stars at this point useless, and kind of that 4 red star kind of being the entry level, which just kind of seems like the way it is right now. So, shut up, Steve. So yeah, we're gonna open up some red star orbs and see what happens. So that was at least enough for an Elite 4. Yeah, so getting garbage though right now. But I don't really get much out of red star orbs anymore. Have a good bit of my roster at 4. And it doesn't seem to be giving me 3, or I'm sorry, it doesn't seem to be giving me 4 on the 3 red star characters that I really want. So these are all trash. At least there's 1 bishop. One's better than none, but 1 is not really worth it. I'm not getting very good of anything, so I'm going to do 1 more, and if it's another green one, I'm going to open some premium orbs before I open these anymore. So I'm done with these. Open up these premium orbs just for the hell of it. I don't know if... So technically, I think I'd have to spend more gold to reset my seed, but I don't have the gold to spend. I don't really ever carry that much gold to begin with. I've been carrying a little bit more lately, trying to buy some of the supplies, getting some of those unique materials, like the Gear 13 and 14 uniques. I guess like the original mini uniques. But anyway, we're just going to open these for the hell of it and see what happens. That could be worse. It doesn't really do anything for me, but I do have 5 red stars on her, so I'd like to get her up to 5 red stars. I actually don't have Shield Operative maxed out yet, so that is not terrible either. I'm not using Shield Operative, but maxed out on Deadpool. 1 more. More She-Hulk. Alright, so I'm not feeling incredibly lucky after those. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I don't know, I guess it doesn't really serve me a whole lot to keep these. I'm just gonna open up everything else I got. So there's technically another rare drop, I think. So I'll go back to the red star and see if I have any better luck this time around. Nope. So like I don't know if that technically kills it right away. Like I don't know. This is where it gets into a little bit of gambling, I think. So I don't really pay that much attention. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Man, I didn't get anything there. I don't think I got anything higher than a 2-star. Maybe. That was not good. I think I'm going to open the Elite Four. I would be able to get another one probably before Jubilee. Yeah, I used those Elite Fives. I think those Elite Fives turned into my 6 red star on Widow, which was really good, and then the 5 red star on Iceman. So at least I got some good value out of those, but I feel naked not having any Elite 5 credits. Anyway, for better or worse, we're going to open this up and see what happens. There's a 15% drop on Bishop, so we'll see. Oh. That doesn't help. I already have that. But did get 1,000 Elite 5s. So, crap. Only got 1 red star on Bishop, so not good. I mean, he just got there today. I've got more time, but that's not what you like to see. And I've had pretty good red star pulls lately, so that was pretty disappointing. But anyway, still plenty of time left. I'm back to opening all my Ultimates orbs because I'm only like 20 shards away from a 7 star. 19 shards, so I'll have that in a week or two. I've put more resources into my Ultimates than probably most people at my total collection power level. Just because I think, once those 5 red stars come after the second pass through Dark Dimension 3, I think he's just going to be a force to be reckoned with if you put some T4s into him. I'm high on the Kree 3 and X Factor hybrid, so again, that's like a DD4 wet dream for me right now. That's probably all I'm going to do for today. I don't really have anything that I have to do in RTA. I got a little bit of campaign energy to spend, but I'll spare you from that. I guess I'll end with one more attack in Arena, and then I'm going to call it a night. So let's try this one. This one's a little bit more of a punch across. But I want to see how this team's holding up. I haven't battled with it in a while. I guess that's good artwork. Some people have problems with the artwork. I don't know. It is what it is. So again, I liked having Yo-Yo as skirmisher because he could put the vulnerable on call right away. Yeah. Might have to switch that back. I think I want Raider on her long term, but not on this Arena team. Crystal's going to pull all those counters. Did that trigger her second wind? I don't think it did. So here I'm just going to change it up. I'm going to use a basic instead of the special. I don't know what's going to happen there, though. I don't know if he's really going to pull. I guess he's going to pull the defense off, but not the taunt. So maybe that's not the right thing to do. I feel like if I use the special, sorry, I might have said ultimate, I can't remember. If I use the special, then they're probably, well, I guess they hold up enough that they're not going to get taken out, but I'm just using the basic. We'll see what happens. So I did take the defense up, killed that Phoenix right away. So that's why I don't like doing that with Ultron. Well, I guess there wasn't a vulnerable there, but you don't like doing the striker into call and taking that vulnerable off because I like to take the extra debuffs off with a second hit with Black Bolt on striker, which isn't going to happen here. Actually, I might take out Proxima instead. since he doesn't have taunt up, I guess I'll use this. That should take care of her. I didn't need to do that. There's her second wind, nice. Feed Black Bolt. Actually, I guess maybe fed Crystal too. Ooh, that was not good. Ah, shit. Ugh. Not good. I just lost. It was not looking good as soon as they took that yo-yo out. I don't think I have the right ISO on these guys anymore. Ultron's tough. I don't know what makes sense for Ultron. I had Fortifier on there for a while, but I think against Black Order, I don't think it really did anything. I think they'd pierce and get right under that barrier. Yeah, so this is wasted, but wow. I wonder how many red stars were on that Thanos. If there's 6 or 7 red stars on Thanos, it can be kind of tough. Then it's kind of a 50-50 on whether or not this works. Didn't work that time. I have about a 30 or 40% success rate with that team that I just played with. Good. It works. Anyway, I think that's all I got in for me today. Until next time, have a good one.